Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video. Today I have a triple challenge. So thank you, Moira, for posting an additional autumn challenge. I love this mood board. I was super excited when I saw it. I also have the Scraptacular Cropping Club challenge to do a layout with a circular design, as well as paper issues, put a word on it. So we just had to make sure we had fall in the title. So this is one for Bennett's baby album. This is their first family fall photo at the pumpkin patch, which I thought was super cute. As soon as I saw that mood board, I thought of these photos. So I really wanted to get started on this like as soon as she posted that mood board, but I went through my paper and I had like nothing that would do the mood board justice. So I made a special trip today to my little local paper shop, Paper Dreams. The owner, Stephanie, was awesome. So I went in there and I went straight for this floral because it was really the only thing I saw that really pulled in the colors of the mood board. And then I showed her the mood board because I was taking a while trying to figure out what papers to go with it. And she came over and helped me pick out the rest of the papers. So thank you, Stephanie. But I am just going through, I'm using my nested dies from We Are Memory Keepers to punch, just circle everything basically. I knew right away with that Scraptacular Cropping Club design that this was just going to be a cascade of circles. So I'm taking basically all those pattern papers and just punching a heap of circles, and I'm just going to alternate layering them up to make a cool design. So that's what I'm starting with. This layout kind of reminded me of an earlier one I did, one of my first process videos of Billy and the Rain. I think it was called When It Rains, Look for Rainbows. So if you like this kind of design, you might want to check that one out. I did that one with Pink Paisley's Moonstruck and some vellum. But I love this mood board. This is not a color combination I think I've ever used. Hence why I had no papers to use for it, but I really like how it looks. I wish I had things even more similar to the mood board, but this was the closest I could find, and I really like how it turns out. I think that light blue is a really unexpected color to have on a fall layout, but it looks really complementary to that rusty red and the dark blue, like navy, and then there was a bunch of like pops of coral that were in the mood boards that you'll see me bring in. But they look really pretty together, so I'm really happy with my paper selections. This piece is super cool, especially that salmon color is it's like a pearlized embossed cardstock. So that adds a really cool texture. Unfortunately, with this whole layout, you can't really see the details from above like this. Hopefully you can get a better look in the close-ups, but it's really a layout you have to appreciate in person because that pearlized cardstock is super, super cool. And I think at first I might scatter those rings around in the background, but as soon as I laid them down, I was like, yeah, that's not happening. So I'm just trying to piece them together and just make sure, colors are apart from each other and make sure none of them look too similar. And I'm just going to, I want there to just be a flow, a cascade of circles down the page, sort of on a diagonal, but with more flow. So I'm just piecing them together, and then you'll see me kind of play around with the placement of them. I sped almost this whole video up like a ton because I didn't want you guys going crazy with me punching all those circles because it took a while to run those all through my dies, but I thought it was really rewarding, and it was time consuming, but it wasn't very labor intensive, so it balanced itself out, and I thought it was a cool design. It was different for me. Really the only other layout that was even remotely similar to this design was that one I mentioned earlier. And because this one's going in Bennett's baby album, they're in separate books, so that doesn't really bother me that they look similar-ish. I was trying to decide which of these photos to use, and I'm like, we're scrapbookers, we don't have to pick. We can put all the photos on we want, so I use both of them. They're basically the same photo, but my sister is looking down at Bennett in one of the photos, and then the other one, they're both straight to camera, and I love both of them, so they're both going on the page. But I like like that placement for the circles, so I got all of those glued down, and that's where it's gonna stay. I thought about maybe putting some rings in the other corners, but I thought it distracted from this singular flow of the design, so I'm gonna keep the circles where they are and not add any more. Going for the title now, I knew right away I was gonna call it something like Fall Family Photo, something like that. But I saw on this thicker sheet, that's Amy Tangerine thicker sheet called The Lucky Ones, there was a title that said Family Love. So I was like, well, that's perfect. I'm just going to put fall on top of that, and that will be my title. So that's what I did. That other thicker I used is called Daiquiri, and I like how that looks for the title. And then it also had some hearts on there, so I pulled 2 of them in as embellishments on a few of the circles, just so the white foam was somewhere else. But other than that, I'm just putting some like corally enamel dots from my Mind's Eye Palm Beach. And I think that's all I do. I put the date on here too, which again you can't really see from this above view. This background paper looks really busy from this down view, but like in person it doesn't look busy. So hopefully you can see in the close-ups more true to how the page actually is. And then I realized, okay, so this red paper is double-sided. One side's plaid, one side's dot. And I used dot side for all of them except for that one circle I had on the plaid side, so I had to flip it. But here's the close-ups. That was super cute. I liked this design. Mood board was super awesome. Again, thank you Moira for surprising us with another challenge. Thanks guys for watching. Bye.